These are the top 4 stocks, not 3, 4. These are the top 4 stocks that I can see right now in the market. And of course, we got to keep our risk in check. So we are going to be following the Outlier 9 framework to tell us if everything is set up for the slingshot. Now, we need to see the market all be in agreement with the sector, all be in agreement with the stock. So if we can achieve that, that's going to give us the full Outlier 9. But I have been seeing a lot of outliers, and you can share in the chat. You can share in the chat how you've been doing this week, because we've shown a few strong buys that have performed very, very well this week. Even though I'm not trading, I'm sitting on the sidelines until I get full Outlier 9. We have seen some very strong signals come through. So do me a favor, if you've traded this week and made some money, don't keep it to yourself. Let everybody know. So first stock we're going to look at. Let's start with the market. Actually, let's start with the market first. We need to go to the Outlier 9 framework here. And let me keep pulling up all my screens over here. Okay. So the first thing that we're going to look at is the trend of the market. If the trend of the market is moving up, that's a great place to start. So let's take a look over here in Outlier for the SPY. So the SPY, let's zoom in slightly. We have the 10 over the 20, price over the 50. So the trend of the market is still going up, but we have a sell signal. And you can look at this over here. The fear and greed on the SPY is actually continuing to go down. The fear and greed of the SPY continues to go down. And then market breadth, we can see we do have that crossover here just a couple of days ago, bullish market breadth crossover. So let's light up the Outlier 9 and see how we're looking so far. It's not going to be a perfect score on anything, but we have the breadth is bullish and we have the trend is bullish. However, the signal is going to be what the signal is going to be. I really thought by now we would have got a buy signal, but we're starting off right here with 2 out of the 3 for the market. Next, I ran the screeners. Now, the screeners are going to help us know which direction the market's going at the most easiest way possible. Like I said, I'm still struggling with these right here. This is not working like I wanted to. Hang on. This one. Yes. Okay. The screener is going to help me a ton because it's going to allow me to look through all of the stocks that Outlier covers for my criteria for trading. So running through these, I was looking through quite a few with buy signals recently. And so I curated, if you want to think about it, a handful of names. First name I want to look at is APTV. That is Aptiv PLC in the discretionary sector. So let's go look at the discretionary sector real quick. We can see there is a bullish crossover on the sector breadth right here. And then we do have a new bullish change in direction from 59.88 to 60.01 on the fear and greed for the discretionary sector. So going back over to this, if I can do it correctly, here we go. We've got fear and greed, that's green, and we've got breadth, that's green. So far, so good. So far, so good. We're already up into the weak sell to neutral category, and we hadn't even looked at the stock yet. So let's go look deeper into the stock. APTV has a buy signal that's come through today with a 10 over 20, price over 50, bullish trend. So this is looking good so far. And then you'll notice the fear and greed peaked a couple weeks ago, and it's been going sideways since then. But now it has hit a bottom and is starting to go back up. It was at 65.26 yesterday. Today it's at 65.29. A very, very slight increase, but that's exactly what Chris would be looking for. So let's go back over here. We have the trend in our favor, the signals in our favor, and the fear and greed is in our favor. The very last thing is the outlier blocks. So let's go check APTV for any outlier blocks. APTV. Now, I'll be honest with you, I didn't check that part ahead of time. Oh, look at this. This is actually great. This is great. Look at this. It closed over both of these 2 outlier blocks right here, which is awesome. Anytime you can get it to cross over and close above that point, these areas are going to act more as support than as resistance. So if you're a chart pattern guy, you might also notice this looks somewhat like a cup and handle. I don't do chart patterns, but that looks somewhat like a cup and handle. So yeah, APTV is actually going to light up with 8 out of 9. Nobody's going to get 9 out of 9 today. So APTV is going to put us in the strong sell category with a score of 88. So there you go. Add that to your list. APTV. Let's go to the next one here. All right, I promised you 4 of them. Let's go to the next one. Okay, sorry, still struggling with this new setup that we got here. We're going to make it. APTV looks pretty awesome. Let's go to the next one. Here, CBRE. This is the real estate stock. Now, the real estate sector looking very, very strong on breadth and very strong on fear and greed. So if we go back to our heat map over here, or I'm sorry, our Outlier 9 here, these are going to stay green. So that makes it really easy. And then let's continue on with our analysis. We got a buy signal just a day after the sell signal, but this sell signal did put up some money. Let's see. 158% following the buy and sell signals with Outlier. That's not too shabby, right? So we got a buy signal come through today. And while it is really close to the flat line between fear and greed, it is going up just ever so slightly, 49.37 to 49.99 today. So the greed is moving up, and that's exactly what we need to see. And as you can tell, we got the trend, we got the signal, and we got the fear and greed all moving in our favor. So we're down to outlier blocks here. If we can pull outlier blocks out, this is going to look pretty good. So this was a CBRE. CBRE. CBRE, oof, right inside of some outlier blocks. Now, for me, that would disqualify me for trading, but this could still be a setup that you would want to take. So we're going to mark that right there, and that's still sitting at 77%, still sitting in the strong buy category. Look at that. Deep thought saves time. Yes, deep thought. I really appreciate it. So Outlier 9 set up on CBRE is 7 of 9, 77%, still keeps it as a strong buy. Let's go to stock number 3. Stock number 3 is CE. What is CE? Celanese. Celanese has a headquarters not too far from here. So in the materials sector, we have a bullish crossover, and the sector is getting more greedy. This is what you want to see. Look, Chris curated these stocks for you, so it's a lot less work for you, right? So we got the trend of the market's not going to change. The sector, these two are still looking great. Now let's go to the stock itself. Bet you can imagine what I'm going to say here. A buy signal with the 10 over 20, price over 50. So a bullish trend. The stock is getting more greedy, just ever so slightly more greedy, but still more greedy from 72.9 to 72.94. So that's looking really good. Let's go over to CE's chart. Look for any outlier blocks. Oof. Look at this clear sailing all the way up to 68.50 or so. That's about from current price up to here, about 17% before it even gets close to this outlier block up here. CBRE, or I'm sorry, CE, Celanese, looks great. So we're going to light that up right there. 8 of 9, that's 88%. Look at us go. We just got another strong buy. So let me introduce myself real quick. I know I'm just a random guy on the internet with a PowerPoint, but my name is Christopher Ewell, and I can click the right button over here. Come on, clickies. Clickies are not working so well today. My name is Christopher Ewell. I've twice been awarded top 100 people in finance. I was mentored by 5 of the market wizards, the best traders of all time. I've been successfully trading since 2009, and this is where outliers like us save time, make money, and start winning with less risk together as a team. So go ahead and subscribe if you haven't already. So let's go to our final one up here. Let's go to our final one up here and see just how good this last one is. Comcast, CMCSA. Now, if you have Comcast, you probably haven't had the best customer experience, but the stock itself, a totally different experience. In fact, following these buy and sell signals, right? Outlier still ekes out a gain where buy and hold is down 20%, where Outlier still ekes out a gain. That's pretty sweet. Look in the communication sector. It is moving up on breadth and moving up on fear and greed. So that looks pretty good so far. If we come over here, these are going to stay the same for the sector and the market. Lastly, let's go to the stock itself. Buy signal with the 10 over 20, price over 50, and getting more greedy. So everything we want to see right here on the stock is pulling through. Boom, boom, boom. Then let's go check out, lastly, the outlier blocks, if anything is in our way on Comcast, CMCSA. Ooh, not quite so good. Not quite so good. It broke one order block yesterday, but it's still sitting in another order block right there. So because of that, I wouldn't be interested in taking that trade, but it may be great for you, which is why I wanted to bring it to your attention. Score of 77% still keeps it in the strong buy category. So was this useful? Did you like this? Right? I really, really, really like being able to showcase all kinds of different stocks out there, because there are all kinds of different people looking for all kinds of opportunities, right? Let's go to today's member highlight over in our Discord. So let me close this. There we go. Over in our Discord here, in the share your big wins section, there was one that I pointed earlier over here, And this came from the general chat. Dole Sloan said, it's just wild. I never used to buy into strength. I always tried to bottom fish, and what a difference it has made. Thanks, Chris. Now, this is something that I've been really trying to preach lately, is understanding the concept of trend following. Trend following feels hard, right? It is a very difficult thing to do, to buy a stock as it's moving up. Let's go to HIMS, right? You can make so much money as the stock is moving up. This is where you buy. You don't buy it on the way down, because there's no guarantee that the way back up is ever going to happen, right? I like to say buy stocks as they're crashing up, not as they're crashing down. And that is what you're looking for right here, right? Now, if we look at HIMS going sideways at this point, you kind of get the sense that things aren't going right when you get a close under the 10 EMA, which is what we see right here. But right here, your 10 over 20, price over 50, man, that paid really well. In fact, approximately how much did that pay? Oh, that to that close right there, that only paid 66%. So you're welcome. You're welcome. Tell me that doesn't work. You can't tell me it doesn't work, because it's just math. Math always works no matter what. So Dole Sloan, super, super glad that you are here, that you're an outlier, and that we're able to help you out with that, my friend. Of course, please continue to tell me your success stories. And the way that you can ping me back is just by telling everybody you know, because the first rule of Outlier is you tell everybody about Outlier, and you hit the like button. So what stocks do you want to look at? What stocks do you want to look at? We'll just go with Vlad. Vlad wants to look at TEM, TEM. Let's go look at TEM real quick. Let's jump in here. Vlad, I got you, my friend. TEM. Let's go. Oh, man, we don't cover TEM. We cover 2,600 stocks, but TEM doesn't seem to be one of them. We're adding new ones very, very soon. I can't tell you what's going to be on that list, but I will go look at that chart for you, my friend. TEM. Got your 10 over 20, price over 50. You've got everything looking in your direction. No order blocks in your way. TEM looks pretty great. Unfortunately, it's not one we cover, but from this perspective, chart perspective, looks awesome. Looks awesome. Let's look at AMD. Peter, AMD. AMD got on my list last week, if you can believe this. Like, oh man, I can't believe I'm saying this, but AMD actually had some really strong setups as of last week, and it boggled my mind, because AMD was the advanced money destroyer, but at some point it actually hit a bottom and started to go back up. While that loads in real quick, let's go over here to this, and let me talk about what Outlier is. What is Outlier and how does it work? Well, old Uncle Warren used to say, be fearful when others are greedy, and greedy when others are fearful. Outlier shows you if investors are acting irrationally fearful or greedy, and by how much, allowing you to get into the stock before the outlier move happens. Now, if you're ready to save time, make money, and start winning with less risk, you can do it in just 3 easy steps. Step 1, go over and grab the annual pass for just 82 cents a day, if you can believe it. That is literally 64% off the regular monthly price. And if you're on the monthly plan, go click this button right here to save 64%. Step 2 is start using the Outlier 9. Now you've seen just how easy it is to use the Outlier 9 to have expert level analysis, to know if you've got the slingshot set up, exactly what you'd want to see. When you do this, trading becomes effortless. And then sit back and relax, because step 3, you just found the easiest way to save time, make money, and start winning with less risk together as a team with us outliers. So let's go look at AMD. It's only 82 cents a day. You're welcome, Vlad. I got you, my friend. Let's look at AMD over here, and let's run it through the Outlier 9 framework. As much as I want to use this is frustrating me. Deep thought. It's frustrating me. So I'm going to bounce off of it, and we're going to do our normal thing. Let's go over here, and the trend and breadth are still going to be bullish, and the signal is still bearish. Now let's go look at the tech sector. The tech sector has the bullish crossover right here, which is what we want to see. However, fear and greed for the tech sector actually continues down. So AMD is not looking beautiful from the fear and greed perspective here. So let's mark that red. But we still could have 7 out of 9. Let's go see. On the stock, on AMD stock, we have the 10 over 20, price over 50, with the buy signal way back here. Let's a performance summary show. Oh, only 248%. The advanced money destroyer, the buy and sell signals in Outlier are still up 248%. That's not too shabby, if you ask me. Not too shabby at all. But looking at this, we've got 10 over 20, price over 50. The bullish trend, it's getting still more greedy. If you can believe it, it's still getting more greedy. So that's going to put us 3 out of 4 down here. 1, 2, 3. Let's make this one green. And lastly, let's go look at any outlier blocks on top of AMD. Any outlier blocks on top? No, There's not. Let me remove my drawings on here because they don't pertain to this. Look at this. AMD is still looking really, really sharp. So AMD is going to get a score of 7 out of 9, which is a score of 77, which puts it right here at strong buy, if you can believe it. Strong buy. Strong buy. What's 82 cents? Only the annual pass. It's just 82 cents a day. You know what? Hopecast is a great question. Is there a course or something where I could learn how to put Outlier 9 to use? Well, actually, we have this incredible thing called Outlier University.
Are you ready? Let's go!
Respect is earned. Respect is never given.
Now, Outlier University is a free, absolutely 100% free. And it's not one of those like, ooh, let me give you a couple little nuggets here kind of free course. No, it's literally everything. I'm teaching you literally every single thing that I know here on YouTube for free every Tuesday and Thursday afternoon in our afternoon live streams. And I want to make sure that you are so prepared to take on the market, giving you everything you could possibly want. Everything that you could possibly want. Very, very cool. So let's do this. Let's continue on. We already looked at AMD. Give me another stock. Give me another stock here. Or what questions can I help you out with, right? If you have any questions, drop them in the chat with the hashtag Q. I would love to help you out by answering some of your questions. Andrew asks, why do order/outlier blocks form in the first place? Well, actually, one of our friends, Yush, had a beautiful explanation that I saved and always reference it when people ask. Yush says, order blocks are not actual live orders sitting at the exchange. Instead, they represent historical areas of significant buying or selling by institutions. Now, these areas of significant buying or selling by institutions are where they are ready to get out, right? You can see right here, there was an order block that went from here over to here. The first time it came up into it, it got rejected. The second time it came up into it, it struggled, bounced right on through, and then it got pulled right back down by number 1 and 2 and 3 order blocks right there, right? So these areas are areas of support and resistance that are so easy to see, and they are not subjective. They're drawn on the chart for you, and it makes it so, so, so nice. David says, why do you use TradingView for order blocks? Isn't there a setting for them in Outlier? There is. Now, I will be very honest with you. In Outlier, our order blocks do not match to what they are in TradingView. We are actively working on resolving that. But yes, they are in there and they are going to get even better. Don't worry about that, my friend. Hey, Tactical Gamer says, made 4,500 today on a few plays. Awesome. Follow your plan and risk management. You are awesome, Tactical Gamer. Glad to hear it. Let's look at Joby from Mo. Let's look at Joby. I feel like Joby was one that we covered the other day. I think this was one of Felix's picks. And Felix actually had a bunch of really good picks. I think he was 4 out of 6, or was it 5 out of 7? It was something like that. Most of his picks actually looked really good on the Outlier trend templates here. So industrial sector has bullish breadth and bullish fear and greed. So let's go mark those out. Mark those up as bullish. Scrolly. Here we go. So this is going to be green. And then on the stock, let's go look at the stock itself. 10 over 20, price over 50, bullish signal history here, 15%. Well, buy and hold has been down 16%. Outlier's been up 15%. Buy and hold's been down 6%. Outlier's been up 15%. So that not too shabby at all. The buy signal here, bullish trend and getting more greedy. That's what we want to see. Let's go double check it on here for any outlier blocks on top of it. It does have one. In fact, this is where I was making some notes over here. It had 11% gain from when I was talking about it last that it could make. Now, oh man, this is such a great example. Look at this. It ran up to this order block, kissed it, and then got immediately rejected. Tell me order blocks don't work. It ran up to here, kissed it, and it got immediately rejected. This is why Chris uses his emergency. This is such a great example. I'm so glad for this. So I've been talking about my emergency exit plan on, I went too far. Talking about my emergency exit plan. I have 2 emergency exit plans. And when it runs into an order block is one of them. Check this out. So we're going to follow the 5-minute chart on this. Okay. So we just zoomed into the 5-minute chart. Actually, hold tight real quick. Let me mark on this chart where that order block was at. We'll need it here around $10.30. So if we zoom in, we'll see the $10.30 line, right? You can see it popped up this morning, ran right up to it, got within 1 penny of it. That still would have fallen on Chris's radar. Trust me, it would have. And then this was my emergency exit point. When you see it go up to the order block on the daily chart, forget about these 5-minute chart order blocks, kissed it, and then came back down. This would have been my exit at $10 flat. And now it's at $9.64. Right. So had you followed that trading plan, you would have been you would have been better off by $3, 38 cents or 3.8%. What a great example of how I use order blocks for an emergency exit point. Joby closed. Thanks. Yeah. Let's see. Spyros has a question. Which time intervals are best to look at on TradingView? Okay, they can vary from 1 day to 1 month to 5 minutes. We just saw 5 minutes a minute ago, right? Here's the thing. Figure out what your time frame for trading is and only look at that time frame for trading forever. Unless it's an emergency exit like we talked about here. And then I zoom in on the 5-minute chart, but I ignore the order blocks on the 5-minute chart. I only am following the moving average on this. That's all I'm looking for. That's all I'm looking for. So to that question, figure out what time frame you want to trade, roll with that forever, forget everything else, because it is going to make life difficult to have to look at all these different ones. Manny says, don't make me do a super chat. Manny, I don't know what you said, dude. I will look. I'm scrolling up just for you, Manny. I'm looking for Manny, the man Manny. Manny, I don't know where it is. Do not send me a super chat, though. Here's the deal. I don't want you guys to ever feel like you need to send me a super chat because I do this for free for you because I love the game. I love the game so much. Manny, I swear I'm looking up in the chat right now for your. In fact, Manny, I'm looking for it right now. Give me it again. Give me it again. Give me it again. I will not take anybody else's except Manny's because I love Manny that much. Fiat says, I just rolled SoFi and Hood options for a combined profit of $1,500 and he's still in the trade. Outstanding. There it is. DVA long. Manny, I got you, my dude. Got you. And I'm not like those other YouTubers. I don't want you to send me money. I got plenty of money. I love this game. So don't ever feel like you need to send me a the countdown. Don't ever feel like you need to send me a super chat. Definitely want you to keep your money so you can invest it. All right, Manny, we're looking in the healthcare sector. It's got bullish breadth, bullish fear and greed in the sector. However, got a lot of fear. The fear is abating slightly. 34.96, 35.06, 35.35. So it's going up, which is what you want to see. But the stock itself still doesn't have so much greed just yet. Has a buy signal, but it looks like it's still in a downtrend, dude. Looks like DVS still in a downtrend. Yeah, it's still in a downtrend. However, you got a couple order blocks to help you in this case. So let's rank this real quick. Let's rank this for our friend Manny. Everybody pay respects to Manny in the chat. Everybody type Manny. I love Manny. And I love Luca, his grandson. All right, let's do this. This is not going to change. The sector we saw are both bullish. Okay, so let's do those are going to stay the same. Okay, so for the trend, this is bearish, my friend Manny. This is bearish signal. We're digging a buy signal. Fear and greed is still getting better, but not great. And actually on outlier blocks, it has some helpful outlier blocks down here. These would be acting as support. So Manny, this is not as bad as I thought. The trend of the market, this isn't going to change. This isn't going to change. Your trend is not good. However, we did get a buy signal. The fear and greed is getting better. And the outlier blocks that are there are going to help it. If you can believe this, this is a strong buy in a downtrend. That is why we do the Outlier 9, because this is one, honestly, on the whole, Manny, I would have looked at this and said, stay away from it. However, bro, you got 7 out of 9 on here. But one of the most important ones, the trend of the stock, is not working in your favor just yet. This one is critical. If you can't catch the trend, you're not going to make any money because, as we know, you can't say only price pays anymore because we got a cease and desist order for that. So we're going to say this instead.
Profits follow price. And price is only going to pay if it's trending up.
You know the deal, Manny. I love you, my friends. You all are awesome. Be sure, if you're ready to save time, make money, and start winning with less risk, that you click one of these 2 videos, and I'll see you tomorrow. We'll talk soon.